Struggling with air navigation? Confused by wind triangles, latitudes, and complex charts? Don't worry, you are not alone. Air navigation is one of the most challenging yet rewarding subjects in DGCA syllabus. In this video, I'm gonna walk you through the entire DGCA air navigation syllabus step by step. We'll break down theory, calculations, common mistakes, and problems involved in each module, and I'll also give you insider tip I use in my classes to help students score high. And if you stay till the end, I have a free surprise that will really help you out. Let's start with general navigation, the foundation of everything in air navigation, and this is the key component of air navigation. We begin with Earth and departure, where you understand that the Earth isn't a perfect sphere, it's an oblate spheroid. You will study how we represent positions using coordinates, latitude and longitude, and how great circles and rhumb lines help us plan the shortest or most practical route across the Earth's surface. Then we dive into directions. Here you will learn the difference between true heading, magnetic heading, compass heading, and how variation and deviation affect your compass reading, a very exam relevant area. One of the most crucial tools in your toolkit is the wind triangle. This helps you calculate how wind affects your course and ground speed and track. You will practice with trigonometric problems to solve for heading and drift. We also cover 1 is to 60 rule, which helps estimate angular errors and their effect over distance, a scoring area in the DGCA paper. Don't forget conversions and convergency. Here you will switch between nautical miles, kilometers, meters, knots, and learn each and every unit conversions like pound, kgs, and also liters, etc. And you will also learn how convergence affects angle over different latitudes on the earth. Then comes time and solar system. You will understand GMT, LMT, UTC, time zone conversions, sunrise, sunset, and how the sun's position affects navigation. In maps and charts, you'll dive into projections, Mercator, Lambert conformal, polar stereographic, and understand how they distort distances and why we use specific charts for specific flights. And finally, you'll learn critical point and point of no return. This is a very important topic in theory and in practical when you are flying out. Here you'll learn how to calculate decision points on long routes where you either turn back or commit to your destination in case of emergencies. That brings us to section 2, which is mass and balance, aircraft performance, and flight planning. This section is all about numbers, performance, and operational decision making. First, in mass and balance, you will study how loading affects the aircraft center of gravity. You will practice graph based sums to determine whether the CG is within limits critical for safe flight. You also calculate moment arms, basic empty weight, and loading CG and interpret loading sheets. This is also a very important part, and the most of the questions come from payload, which is mass and balance, and from critical point, which is CPPNR, which we discussed earlier. Next up is aircraft performance. Here you will study takeoff and landing performance, including how density, altitude, wind, runway slope, and aircraft weight affect your performance. For performance Class B aircraft, mostly used in flight training, you will learn about regulations for multi-engine aircraft and how engine failure changes your takeoff decision making. Then we move to flight planning. This is where it all comes together. You will plan routes, calculate fuel requirements, alternate aerodromes, and understand fuel policies, including final reserve, contingency fuel, alternative fuel, reserve fuel, all under DGCA standards. And here's a pro tip: get comfortable with interpolation of using graph data, and always know why you are carrying that extra fuel, not just how much. And also practice the problems in each and every module and write down and revise the formulas. Section 3, radio aids to navigation. This is also a very important topic in air navigation, and this is also important for your RTR exams and in the day-to-day practical life of flying as a pilot. Here, where theory meets technology. We start with radio waves. You'll understand frequencies, wavelength, propagation types like ground wave, sky wave, and space wave. This is the science behind all radio navigation. Then we move into actual radio aids used in aviation. Number one, ADF and NDB. Understand how they provide bearing and their limitations. Number two, VOR and DME. Learn how radial information and distance measuring work together for precise navigation. ILS, Instrument Landing System. How localizer, glide slope, and marker beacons help you land in low visibilities. Next is radar systems like primary and secondary surveillance radar and TCAS, the traffic collision avoidance system. You will also learn about ground proximity warning system, which is GPWS, Mode C and Mode S transponders. And then a big part, holding patterns. Learn the entry procedures, direct, parallel, and teardrop entries, and understand sector orientation. These are always tested in DGCA paper. Draw diagrams, visualize what each system does, especially for ILS and VOR, and don't just memorize, understand logic behind it. So this brings us to the next and last module of air navigation, which is flight instruments. This is also a very major topic and majority of the questions will be asked from this section. Now let's step into the cockpit. We start with pitot static instruments. The altimeter, which shows altitude by sensing static pressure. The ASI, airspeed indicator, which uses both static and dynamic pressure. The VSI, or vertical speed indicator, which shows your rate of climb or descent. You'll also learn about Mach meters and air data computers, which integrates multiple sensors to calculate values. Then comes the gyroscopic instruments, the attitude indicator, which gives your pitch and bank information, the heading indicator or directional gyro, and the turn and slip indicator. All these are based on gyroscopic principles like rigidity in space and precision. You will learn how they work, where they can fail, and how to correct errors. Finally, an often overlooked topic, magnetism. You will study how the magnetic compass works, its errors, variation, deviation, acceleration and deceleration depth, northerly or southerly, turning errors, and how compass correction cards are used. Group instruments by system, pitot, static, gyro, and magnetic. Use diagrams and real cockpit images. It helps retain better. Study tips. To master air navigation, practice formula every single week. Solve numerical problems, especially with wind triangle and time conversion. Payload factor, 1 is to 60 rules. Direction, departure. Use color coded notes to organize charts, instruments, and conversions. Take weekly self quizzes and review what you got wrong. Use the right tools. You absolutely need to buy the Casio FX991MS scientific calculator and CX3 Flight Computer to solve air navigation questions effectively. I'm going to put the link for this in the description below. As for CX3, it is not just useful, it's required. If you don't have physical device, you can practice using the online CX3 version for now. Try the online link in the description below. But for your final exam and flight training, you will definitely need to buy the CX3. The link to purchase is given in the description below. Most importantly, don't study in isolation. Join a class or get a mentor. It saves time, clears confusion, and gives you a roadmap that works. And if you're looking for structured DGCA ground classes to help you clear your papers faster, I've got you covered. I break down each topic visually with live doubt solving, mock test, and revision acts. The link to register is in the description below. If this breakdown helped you understand the air navigation syllabus better, smash the like button, subscribe for more aviation content, and comment below if you want me to explain any topic in detail in future videos. Also, don't forget to check the description for free quizzes, my class 1 medical checklist, and my full DGCA ground classes. Let's chase the skies together.